Hello, everybody. So, today we're going to start a new series. This will be the first one where we look at past cases. And it could be anything: murder cases, horror cases, any type of cases that were in the press and kind of garnered a lot of interest from people. We're going to be looking at kind of giving you an update as to where those involved are. Like it could be maybe the victims, it could also be the perpetrators, So it's just kind of giving you an update, because I don't know if you like me, you watch all those things and you're kind of left with wanting more. Like you're thinking, hang on, I wonder where they are. What's happening with them, And you want to know more. So we're going to explore that starting from today. So today's first case, we'll be talking about the House of Horror children, the Turpin children, the 13 children that were left in their home and held captive by both parents, David and Louis. So we're going to talk about them today. I'm going to give you a little bit of an extract of the case, what happened. And at the end, I'm going to give you an update. There's not really there as much as I could find really about what is happening to those children that went through horrible childhood. The kind of childhood that you and I would find unbelievable. Anybody would find unbelievable and unacceptable. But these young children went through that. And thankfully, they are all alive and doing well, survived, came out of it. And, some of them are forging, successful careers, in other ways. So we're going to talk about those 13 poor children who were held captive in their home by their parents. The people that they expected to love and protect them. Instead, they were tortured, abused, and severely neglected. Several pictures and videos of the condition in which the children lived and were eventually found by cops who raided their home drew several gasps from the public, including myself. You ask your question, how can parents leave their children in this type of condition? The children were regularly chained, put in cages, tied up with ropes, like animals. So the environment was so dirty and repugnant that authorities that entered the house that day had to hold their breath so as not to breathe in the stench of human excrement and rotten food everywhere. These children, you can imagine, were just running around, playing as children do. That's even if they had the strength, because apparently they were all underweight, through to starvation, so they weren't growing properly, probably had difficulty even walking properly, and talking, basic human interaction. A lot of them found difficult to do because of the malnutrition they suffered in modern day America. So the parents would regularly binge on fast food, and just to even torture the children even further, they would leave that type of food lying around to tempt the children, possibly tempt them enough that if any of them touched it, they knew the type of punishment they would get, probably being chained up again you know, which some of the sisters have come out to say that they were chained up sometimes for days. So they would have all this food lying around and forbid the children from touching the food. Can you imagine that? Having delicious sweet foods lying around, and expecting children not to actually grab and even taste some of it. But the children, I can imagine, probably didn't dare touch it because they knew what the consequences would be if they even attempted it. The children were allowed to eat once a day and very little at that. One of the children, Jordan, even recounted that there was such little food that she would sometimes have to decide whether to eat mustard or ketchup or ice. Most days, those children only ate peanut butter sandwiches or chips. And actually, those were even good days. That's even if they had the chance to get that. I can imagine that they probably were even excited if they even got peanut butter sandwiches. That would excite them because that's food. It's better than having to eat ketchup or mustard. When they were found, the children were filthy and they smelled of months of caked on dirt. And sometimes before they were actually even stopped from going to school, they would actually go into school without having had a wash for months. They hadn't had wash for months when they were found because you could tell they were forbidden from having a bath or even a wash. So their skeletal bodies revealed months of starvation and malnutrition from being denied food regularly. Even the smallest one, they were covered in bruises. Their bodies were burnt regularly, Authorities found fresh scars, and obviously healed scars from years of suffering this type of abuse. Their father, David, would use belts and sticks to whip them. The older sister, Jennifer, recalled one moment when she said her dad picked her up off her feet off the floor and slammed her into a wall. And she doesn't even recall why that happened. It could have been something very trivial that just set him off, that he picked up his own daughter, I'm not even sure how old she was at the time, and slammed her against a wall. Can you imagine? She may have even suffered broken bones at that stage. But did he care? No. Probably carried on as he would normally. With no care in the world if your child is about to die, get injured, or anything from that type of behavior. They even recall that their mother would just get angry for no reason. They would have to walk on eggshells around the house because you did not know how she would react to you actually just asking her a simple question. Can you imagine not even being able to speak to your mother or your father, and then you live in the same house of them? You don't have any way of actually even going out to speak to anybody because you were held as a prisoner in your own home. Fortunately, 17-year-old Jordan managed to escape on January 14, 2018, when she called the police to report the abuse, which led to the arrest, conviction, and imprisonment of their parents. Very sad. So at this stage, everybody would have thought, everything is going, it's like a new start and a new positive beginning for these children. Everybody was hopeful, excited for them. Even a collection was, a collection of donation was set up for them, which raised an amount of up to $600,000. And this money was meant to be for the children, well-being. Like if they needed anything, maybe an apartment or, clothes or any necessities, this was meant to be for them, specifically for the children, nothing else. But it was revealed that the children did not even get a lot of the things that they asked for, which beggars belief, and also asks the question, if the money is for the children, why can't they get some of the things that they want? As long as it's not kind of elaborate things, why is that? Some of the children even reported suffering physical and sexual abuse in foster homes that were supposed to protect them. It's like these kids can't catch a break in life. Can you imagine? You leave from fire into the frying pan, as the saying goes. You leave the house of horrors to now get into another situation that is just as bad. But at the stage where you thought you were happy, elated, that wow, your life is now going to be on the up with positive things, but then you go somewhere else where you're being abused by those that were meant to look after you and take care of you. In fact, it was reported that they didn't even have really a place to stay, the older ones. They were basically moving from one friend's couch to another. Some of the kids, apparently, a bike was requested and that was denied. You denied a child a bike, but there's supposedly 600,000 K put aside for them. But they can't even get hold of it just to buy a simple bike. How much is a bike? I don't know. Maximum, $100, $150, maybe. So it seemed that somehow the money had disappeared or had gone down significantly. Nobody's able to account for what happened to that money. Yet again, these poor children have been let down by society again. But there is some good news, from all that. It seems that all those issues are or have slowly been sorted out. The children are now in better homes, the younger ones, with foster parents that are positive and hopefully, looking out for them, for their best interest, rather than looking out for their own best interest. Not much to say about some of the older ones, apart from Jordan, who is now a successful TikTok star with almost 500,000 followers. Brilliant. She has even performed dance videos with some huge TikTok stars, such as Charlie D'Amelio and Lauren Gray. These are TikTok superstars, so hopefully those performances will give her the exposure she needs, make some money, which she says she is, and she's using that money to treat her younger ones by buying them little presents here and there. Fantastic news. Jordan seems to be enjoying her newfound fame. Good luck to her. We're all rooting for her. We're all rooting for all of them, Like I said, let's all just have these children in our prayers and our thoughts, and just hopefully pray for them that everything goes well. It's going well so far, and they grow up to be, productive citizens, and the past setbacks that they have does not define them. Thank you guys. That's my update so far, and I will carry on updating you on other past cases, and if I have more on this case, I'll definitely do an update as well. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you soon for the next one. Let me know if there is a case that you're interested in and you want me to do an update, okay? And I'll definitely look into that. Thank you. Bye-bye.